now said that judgment, and he said that judgment is still subsisting.
I wanted you to land. So if there are issues as to who has a rightful entrance or ownership or possession of this house, and we go to court to say, I need to get the key, and Mr. Edu say, no, you cannot get it. And the court of appeal say, Shehu, you have the rightful ownership of the key. Take the key. Isn't the court telling me that I am the rightful occupant or owner of that house? Is that not what the court has said?
Which court?
I'm trying to put a clarity so that our viewers can understand, because some of these legal issues could be confusing, and that's why we are here to break it down. And I'm saying that substantially, what the Court of Appeal said is that Julius Abure is recognized as the national chairman because the Supreme Court has said now that he said the Supreme Court said that is not doesn't have any basis and been struck out. Now
the Supreme Court said that even though you already decided that matter, but you shouldn't have imported that reference.
Let us not go far. Let us just stay on the fact that as far as the Supreme Court is concerned, the decision of the both trial and the court below recognizing Barrister Julius Abure as a national chairman of the first respondent, which is the Labour Party, are hereby set aside and is hereby struck out for want of jurisdiction. Yes. In the same vein, the first respondent, the Labour Party's cross appeal, being an offshoot of the same judgment of the court below, is hereby dismissed.
Let me tell you what.
Just a moment, sir. Before I am done, this is a judgment and this is not an obiter.
Yes.
He said, may I admonish political parties and their members to endeavor to always allow their constitution, rules, regulation, and guidelines to guide them in choosing their officer as well as candidate. That way, incessant internal rifts, which always find their way to court, will be reduced. If the constitution of the political party has prescribed duration for tenure of office on an officer, such officer should be humble enough to leave at the expiration of the tenure. Who do you think the Supreme Court is talking about?
Did not mention.
Who do you think is the Supreme Court is?
The advice is for political parties generally, but let me tell you, in this instance, that does not apply to the Labour Party. The Supreme Court has said that political parties should follow their constitution. And by the constitution of the Labour Party, according to what the Supreme Court said, yes, there was a tenure created in 2019. That tenure was supposed to expire in 2023. The neck of the party made a decision for the extension of that tenure. And that tenure was now supposed to expire on the 9th June 2024. But before that, a convention held. A convention of the party
that was not totally agreed upon by everyone.
How do you? All the organs of the party are in support of that. The neck. How do you hold? Just a moment, Mr. Edu. To set the agenda. What is the structure of holding congresses of the party? Do you start from the top or you start from the bottom? By the constitution of Labour Party. The wards, the local government, and the state, they have a 3-year tenure. Now, why national officers have 4-year tenure? Their tenure do not end at the same time. So by the time the tenure of the national officers are ending, the tenure of the states, the local government, the wards are still subsisting. So they don't hold it at the same time. There is no law, there is no rule that says that. So you're saying that all those structures still have their tenure intact? By the time they're...
Some people are very terrible. And they can be hardened in criminality. See manipulation. See the way this man is manipulating the court judgment and saying that a judgment that is read in a case concerning you is not for you. And saying that a judgment that is read in a case concerning Labour Party does not apply to Labour Party for whom the case is being read. Even if we are saying it is for other political parties, the reference point is you, because when matters arise, courts make the judgment from whoever it started from before it ripples down other cases, which will be quoting that judgment. So will you now exonerate yourself from where the judgment started? Even if he's also saying that the tenure of the lower cadre of the leadership of the party subsists for 3 years, and that of the chairman for 4 years, does it now mean you should act anyhow? Is that why he's saying there is no law? Let me remind this man that there are unwritten laws that everybody abide by and follow, even when they are not written. Does that mean that the party can go ahead and behave anyhow? The extra 1 year extension for chairmen would be for them to tidy up things, to introduce or inform the next leadership of the party, because somebody has to conduct the affairs of the party until another leadership comes into play. It doesn't mean that they don't have organogram or that they don't follow these unwritten laws of parties where they have to conduct the primaries from the lower cadre of leadership before it gets to the highest cadre of leadership. When these people manipulate the laws to suit themselves, I can only call them, call it what my baby will call it. He will say, criminals. Abure quickly conducted a convention or a congress that, instead of starting from the word upward, so that the party will have a full organogram of delegates to now inform a national chairman, it delegates that parties use to do their conventions. People from the grassroots that will now elect people in the upper places to oversee the affairs of the party. Abure is saying he has a 1-year extension. That extension was because of the contention for position that everybody gathered and had an agreement to say, let's give him 1 year to tidy up. And his mandate for that 1 year was to conduct these congresses or convention as they choose. I don't know the particular word to use now. But instead of doing that, because he's afraid of losing the office, he wants to stay there forever. Because he has seen affluence, he has seen money, he has seen the praises that were given by the Nigerian people, the obedience, and all the people that rallied around the party at that time to achieve a national good. But Abure thinks it's about self, it's about personal glory. He couldn't deal with it. He wants to stay put. There is honor. He's seen all the goods in an office and you choose to leave when your tenure expires. But this man now says that having given myself 1 year, I'm going to finish that 1 year and seek re-election to now take the proper tenure of national chairmanship. That is why I am angry with the court judgment that the court can use party laws, constitution, rules to forestall this kind of happening, to checkmate people who want to use loopholes in the running of the party, in the constitution of the party. There is no absolute system. Any system that is absolute does not exist. When I mean absoluteness, like everything is round and square, there is no place that you can wriggle out from. So party members who will now look at these loopholes, who will now look at dicey areas to perpetrate personal desires or crime, is what I said the court should look into. They can use the party laws, rules, convention, constitution, whatever, to know who is the offender and nip that person in the bud because of those tendencies to commit crime using loopholes in party laws. It has nothing to do with interfering in party matters. So for the court to not make categorical statements on the issues of offenders and say they cannot interfere in party politics, I see it as hypocrisy. There's a contention. Clear the doubt. That is not interference in party politics. So that is why these unscrupulous elements are still hiding under the loophole in the judgment to also continue their shenanigans. So Abure is using the loophole in the party by saying that the tenure of lower officers only subsists for 3 years, while that of chairman subsists for 4 years. And I would tell him that you cannot check time in retrospect. Duration cannot be checked in retrospect. Duration cannot be checked in retrospect. Rather, you count duration in succession. If they spend 3 years, 3 years is just few moments to 4 years. That little time left for you as the leader of the house is to also tidy up to elect the new people that will continue. It's just like saying every other member of the house go to bed, mommies or daddies stay awake and make sure that things are put in place. Don't just go to bed the same time everybody goes to bed. Someone has to check the doors, someone has to close the curtains, someone has to clean up, someone has to check the sleeping children, someone has to make sure the lights are turned off, somebody has to make sure the gadgets are put off, somebody has to make sure everywhere is set for everybody to go to sleep. That is just the reason for saying that the chairman or the higher cadre of leadership in that party can stay a little bit longer. You cannot now say you are tidying up to leave. You are tidying up also to leave. You cannot now say that because their tenure ended, my own is still subsisting. It's like when you are checking age. Some of us can be age mates, but when it comes to certain times of the year, we now look older, much older than those who are still our mates. You will not say that you are 2 years older than them. You are just coming. Or they clock that time before you. All these deceits is what the new leadership, the new neck, whether or not INEC is being pretentious about their request to gain legitimacy, he quickly organized a convention flouting the whole process, ignoring process, and jump to the top only to say that there is no law, there is no rule, there is no law that the party convention has to start from the lower cadre. So other parties that do it, can't they do the same thing you are doing now? And if the court sustains this kind of thing, you will see other parties also do it. So instead of doing what he should do, he extended his own tenure by first doing a congress to force himself continuously on the party. And now the new NEC, the new leadership that met INEC the other day has a mandate. Your mandate is to put your foot on the ground and make sure that these lies that the Apapa and his group are consolidating does not fly. That Apapa seems to be a plan B. Like, let's see if the courts will let them fly, because they know that the courts, there's a case. That is even why the court said there is merit in the case they submitted. So if they win in the court, Apapa, raise your head and continue the fight and the stupidity. Then INEC is pretentious about or diplomatic about their request, because the same day they conducted that NEC meeting, they went to INEC to say these are the people who in power to begin to run the affairs of the party, and now INEC says our leader is on a duty somewhere. So if Mahmoud is not on seats, INEC will not work. They don't have organogram any longer. They're also being diplomatic about the request of Labour Party, and we will see it in the coming days. But this new administration of Labour Party should understand that when they go to sleep, these liars will become truths. Because when a lie is told repeatedly, it becomes the truth. And that is what they are driving on at the moment. When a lie is told repeatedly, it becomes the truth. You have to continue to say your own truth and stand on it and continue. And I think that is why Kenneth Okonkwo was also very angry the other time, and people did not understand it. The party leadership went to sleep. The wrong faction was busy fitting people for positions, conducting primaries, and doing all the things that the party should do. And you blame them when they have upper hands. Now that you've gained your home back, it's like somebody who is crying foul and a stranger comes into your house to take over, and you are there making noise. Sorry, you are there saying I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, and they take over. Now that you have gained entrance back into your home, take your place and do the needful. Do what you are supposed to do. Oversee the things you are supposed to oversee, and don't sleep again and allowing illegitimacy to take over your party. And that when I talk about strangers, they talk about how many years they have spent in Labour Party. Anything of administration, anything of leadership has nothing to do with how many years you have stayed there. If you want to be a Methuselah, if you are doing the wrong thing, you are doing the wrong thing. Every generation will have successors. There are new generation of politicians who are coming in, and it doesn't matter if they are 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, so long as they are doing the right thing. So if you are Methuselah in the party, and you are allowing yourself to be a tool in the hand of wickedness, they should allow you. Labour Party, wake up. Why you are facing these battles is because the enemies of goodness, the agents of darkness that are holding Nigeria hostage, doesn't want Nigeria to prosper, and they are fighting. You have to fight them, not just physically, everywise, and put your foot on ground, because you are fulfilling a godly mandate to put Nigeria on track. Now, this case has been settled from the court judgment, even though we have our grievances about how the court packaged the statements. But that page 47 emphasized what is the position of the court on the Abure case, Abure situation. It says that everything concerning the matter that is brought to court about Abure is meritorious, coming from those who filed the appeal. And that's their appeal that has been found to have merit is sustained, is allowed. When the court uses statements like sustained, allowed, it means that whatever they are asking for It's approved. And then we went ahead to also talk about setting aside everything that the lower court had agreed concerning Abure's case. The previous court has sustained Abure's position, and this new court, which is the final court, says is being set aside. That decision of the court is set aside. Setting something aside, the court does not use aggressive statements. Setting something aside simply means throwing it away. So that problem has been solved.